Bears are marching into Lambeau Field. I told you last week they're going to beat Philly and Philly. They're going to beat the Packers at Lambeau Field. Why? Because they're the better football team.
Caleb Williams is one of the top 5 most clutch quarterbacks in football right now.
And the Eagles starting D-line is a bunch of monsters. Yep. If the Bears can do that to the Philadelphia Eagles, my thought process is there's a good chance they can do that to most teams.
Let's go. Nole in the house tonight.
Everyone said it would be the same old story. Another rebuild, another rookie quarterback crushed under Chicago's cursed history. What if the Bears weren't just improved, but legitimately dangerous? Because right now, standing at 11-6, with the number 2 seed in the NFC playoffs locked in, the Chicago Bears aren't a feel-good story. They're a problem for the rest of the conference. To understand how we got here, you've got to rewind to the absolute disaster that was November 2024.
First time in franchise history, the Chicago Bears have fired a coach, Matt Eberflus.
After 6 straight losses, sunk their season, and destroyed any hope fans had left, head coach Matt Eberflus was facing growing criticism for his late-game management, particularly after a Thanksgiving Day loss in Detroit, where Chicago failed to call their final timeout in the closing seconds. The Bears' comeback attempt fell short, 23-20, and the scrutiny was deafening. But here's where it gets interesting. In the locker room after that loss, Eberflus began addressing the team. Star cornerback Jalen Johnson, frustrated after years without a winning season since being drafted in 2020, interrupted him. Johnson voiced his exasperation with the results, fueled by the ongoing late-game failures that had become the team's calling card. Eberflus cut his remarks short and walked out of the room. The very next day, he was fired. November 29th, 2024, the first mid-season head coaching dismissal in Bears franchise history. That disastrous stretch, it set the stage for everything that came next.
Let's start with Chicago. Let's start with Ben Johnson and our thoughts that he will be the new head coach of the Chicago Bears. Peter.
In January 2025, the Bears hired former Detroit Lions offensive coordinator Ben Johnson as their next head coach. And listen, this wasn't just another coaching hire. This was a statement. Johnson walked into Hallis Hall with a resume that spoke for itself. He'd spent 3 seasons as Detroit's offensive coordinator from 2022 through 2024. During that span, the Lions' offense finished in the top 5 in total offense every single year, including a number 1 scoring offense in 2024 that averaged 33.2 points per game, the highest in the NFL that season. Johnson was one of the hottest coaching candidates on the market in the 2025 hiring cycle, drawing interest from around the league. But Chicago landed him, and he brought something the Bears hadn't seen in decades: a culture of accountability and a flat-out refusal to accept mediocrity. In his very first team meeting, Johnson made it crystal clear: the Bears weren't rebuilding anymore. They were competing. No more excuses, no more moral victories. They were there to win football games, period. And you know what? Players who'd been losing for years suddenly had a coach who believed they could be great. More importantly, he demanded it.
I think players want coaches who are going to bring out the best in them. Yeah. So they want to be pushed to see how good of a player they can become. Can you do that through scheme? Can you do that through technique? Can you do those things? I think Ben does an excellent job of that. I think they also need to see success every once in a while on the field. We talked about that 0-2 start, and then the ability to find a way to get a couple of wins right after that and get back into it.
The offense Johnson installed was a complete departure from anything Caleb Williams had experienced. In college, and his rookie year, Williams would extend plays, hold the ball, hunt for the big gain. Sometimes it worked. It also led to 68 sacks in 2024, third most in NFL history. Johnson's scheme demanded something different: rhythm, timing, quick decisions, trust the design, take what the defense gives you, protect the football. For Williams, this was learning a new language. His instincts screamed at him to create magic. Johnson's system said, trust the process. The results speak for themselves. Through 17 games, Williams threw 27 touchdowns and just 7 interceptions. Sacks dropped to 24. The offense ranked among the better units in total yards and scoring. Now here's where we need an honest conversation about Caleb Williams. The national media and analytics crowd obsess over completion percentage. Williams sits at 58.1%, below league average. Kurt Warner called him out, saying the inconsistency costs them easy completions. Chicago doesn't give a damn about that spreadsheet. They care about wins. And Caleb Williams is a winner. In his second season, he leveled up from promising rookie to undisputed leader. While critics nitpicked, he set the Bears' single-season passing record with 3,942 yards. This franchise has never had a 4,000-yard passer. Williams knocked on that door in year 2. So keep questioning the completion percentage, because when the game's on the line, Williams turns into a different animal. This kid has that rare it factor you can't teach and you damn sure can't measure. The scariest part? This isn't a one-man show. That's the genius of what Johnson built. Complementary football at its finest. And speaking of complementary, if you're enjoying this breakdown, hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down the stories the national media won't tell you. And trust us, you don't want to miss what's coming next. General Manager Ryan Poles understood a simple truth. Even the best quarterback can't succeed when he's getting destroyed every Sunday. So he rebuilt the offensive line from the ground up. The moves came fast. Joe Thuney from Kansas City, 4 Super Bowl rings, multiple All-Pro selections, and a championship pedigree the Bears desperately needed. Jonah Jackson from the Rams, a Pro Bowl guard who already knew Johnson's system from their time together in Detroit. And in free agency, Drew Dahlman, one of 2024's highest-graded centers according to Pro Football Focus. The financial commitment was massive. In 2024, Chicago's offensive line ranked among the league's cheapest, at around $23 million in cap space. By 2025, Poles had nearly doubled that investment, transforming them into one of the NFL's highest spending units. The payoff was immediate and undeniable. Chicago's rushing attack exploded into the top tier of the league.
I think there is something brewing in Chicago. It's a changing of the NFC North structure. It's a changing of that building. And I think this is what you need to have happen as a young player, is to get more consistent, to have all of those things. But you need results to then come back and build confidence for the entire organization.
Right tackle Darnell Wright, the 2023 first-rounder, developed into a second-team All-Pro. Thuney earned first-team honors, from bottom feeder to elite in one offseason. That's not an upgrade. That's a complete rebuild. For years, the Bears' receiving room was a graveyard for talented pass catchers. That narrative is officially dead. This season, 4 different receivers eclipsed 600 yards, a remarkable distribution of targets that kept defenses guessing all year long. DJ Moore led the way as the veteran presence, finishing with 682 yards and 6 touchdowns, the steady hand Chicago desperately needed. Rome Odunze, the team's prized rookie, started the season on fire before hitting a mid-season lull. But don't let the inconsistency fool you. The kid's got the tools to be a legitimate number 1 receiver. He's developing into exactly the kind of nightmare matchup Johnson envisioned when they drafted him. The second half of the season belonged to the other rookies. Luther Burden III, the electric playmaker from Missouri, brought a speed dimension the Bears haven't had in years. He finished with 652 yards and seemed to break off explosive plays whenever the offense needed a spark. But the real revelation was Colston Loveland. The rookie tight end became Williams' most trusted target down the stretch, surpassing veteran Cole Kmet in both production and usage. Loveland hauled in 58 catches for 713 yards and 6 touchdowns, consistently finding soft spots in coverage and using his athleticism to create separation. The connection between him and Williams grew stronger by the week, evidenced by the 38 targets Loveland received over the final 3 games of the regular season. It's a young core. Most of these players are still under 25, which means this isn't a one-year window. This is the foundation of something that could dominate the NFC North for years to come. But offense alone doesn't win you the NFC North. And here's something the talking heads keep missing. While everyone's obsessing over Caleb's completion percentage, this defense has been out there stealing games. The Bears' defense became a takeaway-focused unit in 2025, and they were absolutely relentless about it. They finished among the league leaders with over 30 takeaways and more than 20 interceptions. They posted a strong, positive turnover differential, one of the best marks in football. And it seemed like every time the team needed a spark, the defense delivered a massive play. In the playoffs, that ability to create chaos is priceless. Possessions are limited, and the pressure is higher than ever. Having a defense that can flip the field and steal a possession, that's a massive advantage. They bend, they may give up yards, but they break the opposing team's spirit with turnovers. It's a high-risk, high-reward style of play for sure, but it perfectly matches their quarterback.
You know what I loved about this game, Tommy Tran, the Chicago Bears? 180 passing yards, 140 rushing yards. That's harmony. That's balance.
Then came December 2025. The Bears traveled to Philadelphia to face the Eagles.
+7, yes, this is going to be a very tough test. The Eagles' defense is the toughest defense the Bears have played all year. So we're going to see how Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams respond.
This was the test everyone pointed to. Chicago had beaten up on bad teams and squeaked past mediocre ones. But could they hang with an elite squad on the road? They didn't just hang, they dominated. After the game, Ben Johnson went viral in the locker room, celebrating with his team in pure, unfiltered joy. The moment was significant for more than just the memes. A Chicago restaurant, the Wieners Circle, had promised free hot dogs if Johnson tore his shirt off after a win. He delivered, and so did they, handing out roughly 2,000 free dogs. But the real gift was what that win represented. It was validation. They clinched a playoff spot late in the season after key losses around the NFC. They secured the NFC North for the first time since 2018 the following week. By the time they finished the regular season, 11-6, the doubters had gone quiet. Here's the thing about the 2025 Bears. They don't make it easy on anyone. Not their fans, not their coaches, and definitely not themselves. All season long, they've been living dangerously. 6 comeback wins during the regular season, most of them coming down to the final 2 minutes. Every single time, the analytics crowd would say it's not sustainable. Every single time, the Bears would prove them wrong again. But everyone kept waiting for the moment it would all fall apart. Wait until the playoffs, they said. Wait until they face a team that won't fold under pressure. A year ago, this franchise was broken. 5 wins. Coach fired over Thanksgiving. Laughingstock of the NFC North. Now, they're the kings of the North. Ben Johnson walked into Hallis Hall and completely changed the vibe. But here's what we want to know. Do you actually trust Caleb Williams in a shootout against the likes of Jaden Daniels or Jared Goff? Can this defense really hold up against elite offenses in the playoffs? And be honest. Drop your takes in the comments. And if you think I'm sleeping on the Bears, or if you think I'm overrating them, let me know why. I read every single comment.